It was supposed to be just another ordinary afternoon on British daytime television, the kind of show where celebrities drop in to promote their latest projects, share a few laughs, and keep things light for the audience at home sipping tea. Loose Women, that long-running panel program known for its mix of celebrity gossip, current affairs, and unfiltered opinions from its regular hosts, had invited the acclaimed actor Colin Firth to appear. Firth, beloved worldwide for his iconic roles in films like Pride and Prejudice, The King's Speech, and Bridget Jones's Diary, was there to discuss his recent work in a new dramatic project that had been generating buzz in the industry. The studio audience was buzzing with excitement as the cameras rolled, expecting the usual polite conversation and perhaps some charming anecdotes from the Oscar-winning star. Little did anyone anticipate that the segment would spiral into one of the most talked-about confrontations in recent television history, culminating in Firth being abruptly asked to leave the set. The tension began subtly, with the panel introducing him warmly at first, but things quickly shifted when Denise Welch, one of the show's most outspoken and controversial panelists, steered the discussion toward more provocative territory. Welch, a former actress and singer-turned-television personality, has built a reputation over the years for her bold, no-holds-barred opinions on everything from politics to personal relationships, often clashing with guests in ways that make for compelling but sometimes uncomfortable viewing. As Firth settled into his chair, smiling graciously, the conversation started innocently enough with questions about his preparation for roles and his thoughts on the British film industry. But Welch, never one to shy away from controversy, began probing deeper, questioning Firth's views on certain social issues that had been making headlines recently, framing them in a way that felt more like an interrogation than a friendly chat. The actor, known for his reserved and thoughtful demeanor, responded measuredly at first, choosing his words carefully to avoid escalating any potential conflict. However, as Welch pressed on with pointed remarks that many viewers later described as unnecessarily aggressive, the atmosphere in the studio grew palpably tense. Audience members shifted uncomfortably in their seats, and the other panelists exchanged glances, sensing that the interview was veering off course. Firth maintained his composure, but it was clear that the exchange was heating up, with Welch refusing to back down and instead doubling down on her criticisms, accusing Firth of being out of touch with modern audiences or something along those lines that struck a nerve. This wasn't the light-hearted banter the producers had hoped for. It was turning into a full-blown debate that highlighted the clash between old-school Hollywood elegance and the raw, opinionated style of daytime talk shows. Social media began lighting up almost immediately as clips started circulating online, with fans of Firth rushing to his defense while others praised Welch for holding him accountable. The confrontation escalated when Welch made a comment that many interpreted as personal, touching on Firth's public image and past trolls in a manner that felt dismissive of his contributions to cinema. At that point, Firth's expression changed from polite engagement to visible frustration, though he still tried to steer the conversation back to safer ground. The producers in the control room must have been panicking, debating whether to cut to a commercial break or let the drama unfold for ratings gold. But what happened next shocked everyone watching live. After a particularly sharp retort from Welch that crossed a line in the eyes of many, Firth stood up calmly yet firmly, addressed the panel with a few choice words about respect and professionalism, and made his way off the set, leaving the hosts stunned into momentary silence. The audience erupted in a mix of gasps and applause, unsure whether to cheer the drama or feel awkward about the whole situation. This incident quickly became fodder for endless online debates, with hashtags trending worldwide as people dissected every second of the exchange. Was it a genuine clash of personalities, or was it staged for attention? Regardless, it highlighted the unpredictable nature of live television and how even the most seasoned celebrities can find themselves in hot water when faced with a host like Denise Welch who thrives on stirring the pot. In the aftermath, Loose Women faced criticism for allowing the segment to descend into chaos, while Firth's team released a statement emphasizing the importance of civil discourse in public forums. The video footage spread like wildfire across platforms, amassing millions of views within hours, and sparking conversations about celebrity treatment on talk shows. The boundaries of journalistic questioning, and whether daytime TV has become too sensationalized for its own good. Fans of Colin Firth praised his dignified exit, calling it a masterclass in class under pressure, while supporters of Welch argued that she was simply doing her job by challenging powerful figures in the industry. This event wasn't just a minor TV mishap, it became a cultural moment that reflected broader tensions in society about politeness versus authenticity, respect versus confrontation, and the fine line between entertainment and exploitation. As clips continued to circulate and pundits weighed in on news programs, it was evident that the confrontation had left a lasting impression, reminding everyone that even in the polished world of show business, raw human emotions can erupt unexpectedly and change the narrative in an instant. The story of Colin Firth's departure from Loose Women after that heated moment with Denise Welch will likely be retold for years, serving as a cautionary tale for producers and a point of pride or controversy depending on which side of the debate one falls. Following the dramatic exit, the remaining panelists on Loose Women attempted to recover the segment with forced smiles and light-hearted jokes, but the damage was already done as viewers at home flooded social media with their immediate reactions ranging from shock to amusement and outright anger. Denise Welch, unfazed by the unfolding events, continued to defend her line of questioning in the moments after Firth left the studio, claiming that it was important to hold celebrities accountable and not let them coast through interviews with rehearsed answers. Her fellow hosts tried to mediate, with some offering mild criticisms of how the conversation had escalated while others backed Welch's approach as refreshing honesty in an era of scripted PR spins. Meanwhile, Colin Firth's representatives were quick to issue statements expressing disappointment over the tone of the interview, suggesting that the show had deviated from the agreed-upon topics and created an unnecessarily adversarial environment that didn't align with the spirit of promoting his latest project. News outlets picked up the story almost instantly, with headlines screaming about the explosive clash and shocking walk-off that had disrupted the usually chatty atmosphere of the program. Analysts began dissecting the body language captured on camera, Firth's initial relaxed posture giving way to crossed arms and a furrowed brow as Welch's questions grew more insistent, her gestures becoming more animated as she leaned forward to emphasize her points. Experts in media studies pointed out how such moments reveal the power dynamics at play in talk shows, where hosts often wield the advantage of the home turf and the ability to pivot topics without warning. Public opinion was sharply divided on one side. Loyal fans of Loose Women applauded Welch for not being intimidated by A-list stardom and for bringing real substance to what could have been a fluffy segment. On the other, devoted Colin Firth enthusiasts accused the panel of ambush tactics and disrespect toward a national treasure whose career has been marked by humility and artistic integrity rather than scandal. The incident even drew comments from fellow celebrities, with some tweeting support for Firth's decision to remove himself from an uncomfortable situation rather than engage in a shouting match that would have lowered the discourse further. As the day progressed, extended clips and slow-motion replays of the key exchange flooded YouTube and TikTok, allowing viewers to analyze every word, pause, and facial expression in minute detail. Some commentators suggested that Welch's approach stemmed from her own experiences in the entertainment industry, where she has often spoken out about feeling marginalized or undervalued, perhaps projecting that onto her interaction with Firth. Others speculated that the producers had intentionally encouraged a more combative style to boost ratings, knowing that controversy generates clicks and shares in today's attention economy. Firth himself remained largely silent in the immediate aftermath, choosing instead to let his work speak for him as he continued promoting his film through more controlled channels like magazine interviews and controlled press events. However, in a rare public appearance shortly after, he alluded indirectly to the importance of mutual respect in conversations, without naming the show or Welch specifically, which only fueled further speculation and discussion. The fallout extended beyond entertainment circles, with media ethics professors using the clip in lectures to illustrate the blurred lines between journalism, entertainment, and personal agenda on live television. Viewers who had tuned in expecting celebrity fluff found themselves witnessing a microcosm of larger societal debates about cancel culture, free speech, and the treatment of public figures who prefer to keep their personal views private. Denise Welch later appeared on other programs to elaborate on her perspective, maintaining that her intentions were never to kick anyone off but rather to spark genuine dialogue. Though she admitted the exchange had become more intense than anticipated, this defense did little to quell the online storm, as petitions both for and against her continued role on Loose Women began circulating, highlighting the polarized nature of audience reactions in the digital age. Ultimately, the event served as a reminder of how quickly a seemingly innocuous TV appearance can transform into a viral sensation, altering reputations and sparking nationwide conversations about civility in public life. The producers of Loose Women issued an official apology for any discomfort caused, while also teasing future episodes with honest conversations that promised more of the unfiltered style that had led to this very moment. As weeks passed, the story continued to evolve with new angles emerging, from behind-the-scenes accounts of the production team's frantic efforts to regain control to fan theories about what Firth might have said if he had stayed longer. It became clear that this confrontation wasn't just about one actor and one host. It tapped into deeper frustrations many people feel about how media handles celebrity culture, balancing admiration with scrutiny in an often unbalanced way. The entire episode underscored the challenges faced by public figures navigating an era where every word is recorded, analyzed, and judged instantaneously by millions. In the days that followed the infamous Loose Women confrontation, the British tabloids and broadsheets alike devoted extensive coverage to the incident, with columnists offering their takes on whether Colin Firth had shown admirable restraint or simply avoided a necessary debate. Denise Welch found herself at the center of a media whirlwind, receiving both praise for her forthrightness and criticism for what some called bullying tactics disguised as tough questioning. Interviews with former guests of the show revealed a pattern of Welch's style, where light topics often gave way to more probing, and sometimes uncomfortable, inquiries that tested the patience of even the most seasoned interviewees. Firth's fans organized online campaigns urging the show to issue a more formal apology and perhaps invite him back under better circumstances, emphasizing his long-standing contributions to British culture through acclaimed performances that have earned him respect across generations. Meanwhile, television insiders whispered about potential changes to the format of Loose Women, with rumors swirling that producers were reconsidering the balance between entertainment value and respectful dialogue to prevent similar walk-offs in the future. Social media platforms became battlegrounds for heated discussions, with memes and edited videos parodying the exchange going viral and adding layers of humor to what had been a tense moment. One particularly popular edit showed Firth's calm departure set to dramatic music, turning the event into comedic fodder that softened some of the initial outrage. Yet beneath the laughs, serious questions lingered about the responsibilities of daytime television in shaping public discourse and the potential long-term impact on the careers of those involved. Colin Firth returned to his usual low-key public profile, focusing on his family and upcoming projects, but the experience reportedly made him more selective about future talk show appearances, preferring formats where conversations could remain civil and topic-focused. Denise Welch, true to form, embraced the attention by appearing on podcasts and other shows to discuss the importance of not shying away from difficult topics, even if it ruffles feathers among Hollywood elites. Her comments resonated with a segment of the audience that felt celebrities often receive kid-glove treatment and should be challenged more rigorously on issues that matter. The broader entertainment industry took note, with agents advising clients to prepare for potentially adversarial interviews and to have exit strategies in mind if things turn sour. Academic papers and think pieces began emerging analyzing the psychological aspects of the confrontation, exploring themes of power imbalance, emotional intelligence under pressure, and the performative nature of television conflict. Audience ratings for Loose Women reportedly spiked in the immediate aftermath as curious viewers tuned in to see if the drama would continue, proving once again that controversy can be a double-edged sword for broadcasters seeking to maintain relevance in a fragmented media landscape. As the story faded from the front pages but lingered in online archives, it became a reference point for other celebrity interviews gone wrong, serving as a benchmark for what constitutes crossing the line between engaging debate and outright hostility. Firth's dignified handling of the situation enhanced his reputation as a gentleman of the screen, while Welch solidified her image as a fearless voice unafraid to speak her mind. for better or worse. In retrospect, the event highlighted the evolving expectations of audiences who crave authenticity but also demand basic courtesy, creating a tricky tightrope for producers to walk. Discussions in online forums ranged from calls for boycotts to suggestions for training sessions on conflict resolution for talk show hosts, illustrating the wide spectrum of opinions generated by those few charged minutes on air. The incident also sparked renewed interest in Firth's body of work, with streaming services reporting increased viewership of his films as people sought to revisit the actor's more controlled and masterful performances in contrast to the raw television moment. Ultimately, what started as a promotional appearance transformed into a defining cultural snapshot that captured the zeitgeist of modern media interactions, where the personal and the professional often collide in unpredictable ways. The legacy of that day on Loose Women continues to influence how similar programs approach guest bookings and topic selections, reminding everyone involved that live television carries inherent risks that can lead to unforgettable, if uncomfortable, television history. Reflecting on the broader implications of the Colin Firth and Denise Welch confrontation, it becomes evident that such events expose the vulnerabilities inherent in the celebrity-interviewer dynamic, where preparation meets spontaneity and egos can clash under the bright studio lights. Loose Women has long prided itself on its panel of strong, independent women who aren't afraid to voice unpopular opinions, a formula that has sustained its popularity for decades despite occasional controversies. In this particular case, the expectation of a promotional puff piece collided head-on with Welch's penchant for digging deeper, creating a perfect storm that neither side fully anticipated or controlled. Colin Firth, whose career has been built on portraying characters of quiet strength and moral conviction, found himself in a real-life scenario that tested those very qualities, emerging with his public image largely intact thanks to his composed response rather than any fiery comeback. Supporters argued that his walk-off was not a sign of weakness but of self-respect, choosing to preserve his dignity over prolonging an unproductive exchange that served little purpose beyond generating headlines. On the flip side, defenders of the show pointed out that talk programs exist to entertain and inform, and sometimes that requires pushing boundaries to reveal more authentic sides of public figures who are often shielded by PR teams. The viral nature of the clip amplified everything, turning what might have been a minor studio hiccup into an international talking point that dominated water cooler conversations and social feeds for weeks. Media watchdogs weighed in on the ethics of ambushing guests with unexpected topics, questioning whether such tactics align with responsible broadcasting standards or simply cater to the lowest common denominator for viewer engagement. Psychologists offered insights into the stress responses displayed by both parties, noting how Firth's measured tone contrasted with Welch's more emotive delivery, creating a compelling visual and auditory narrative that kept audiences hooked. As the dust settled, industry professionals began advocating for clearer guidelines on guest interviews, suggesting pre-agreed topic lists or neutral moderators to prevent similar escalations that could damage relationships between talent and networks. Firth's subsequent projects benefited from the sympathetic coverage, with critics praising his professionalism in the face of adversity and drawing parallels to the principled characters he has brought to life on screen. Denise Welch continued her regular duties on the panel, occasionally referencing the incident with a mix of humor and defiance that endeared her to loyal viewers while alienating others who felt she had overstepped. The episode also prompted a wave of similar stories from past guests sharing their own experiences of tense moments on various talk shows, creating a collective narrative about the challenges of navigating live media appearances. In the end, the confrontation served as a catalyst for important conversations about respect, boundaries, and the role of entertainment media in society, reminding us all that behind the glamour of celebrity interviews lie real people with real emotions.